So welcome to A Million Stories. This is our first session back in 2016, and I'm sitting with, in fact, I'm very happy to be sitting with Marleen Bassart, who we've been trying to meet with for quite some time, but she's a busy woman who has her own company. So we're actually sitting in her own company now. But welcome, Marleen.
Thank you very much.
So the her business, it's under two businesses, is Food We Love and Bites We Love. So I think I'm going to hand over to you to just speak a little bit about the shop and the business.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see. About 3 years ago, I started my first company, Food We Love. After working at Albert Heijn for about 6 years, I decided it was time to try for myself and get out of the corporate cage and see if being an entrepreneur was something I would like to be.
And just to interject there, so Albert Heijn, for those of you who aren't living in Holland, it's a big supermarket.
Yeah, it's
grocery store,
premium supermarket chain, a bit focused on high-end products. So yeah, after working there with I really enjoyed working there, but then I decided to start my own company. So I started Food We Love. What we do with Food We Love is we ship a monthly box with gourmet food products, and our goal is to have people discover new brands and new products and new recipes and new stories. So what we do is we ship a monthly box for $24.95, and the box holds about 6 to 8 products and several recipes. So people can get to discover new brands. In this way, we help small entrepreneurs sell their stories. So we share the stories about these entrepreneurs online and in the leaflet that's in the box. And then after about 1.5 years, I decided that it was time to start a second company.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, looking back, if it was the right time, but back then it seemed like it was. And I started the company Bites We Love. And what we do is we ship a weekly box with 4 healthy snacks. These snacks are based on nuts and seeds and dried fruits. Yeah, and it's in like that. So it's small bags, and we ship it in a small box that fits through the mailbox. So for $4.95, you just receive the healthy snacks at home, and we also sell the product to larger trade shows and companies.
So, because now I actually want to go back to the question, but this is the box. So when you say it fits through the mailbox, this is how it fits through, because it's perfect.
Yeah, it fits perfectly. At least the Dutch mailboxes, it does. Yeah.
So inside you have the a little brochure of what's inside.
So we have over 60 different snacks which we develop ourselves. Mainly nuts and seeds and dried fruits. We're now working on granolas and oats and bars. And basically what our customers do online, they make a selection from the type of snacks they wish to receive, either healthy or more chocolate or salty snacks. And they can indicate online which ones they want to receive and which ones they don't want to receive. And we ship them a personal selection. So
you say ship?
Yeah, or we send it by mail. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, but do you have international orders as well? Or?
No, I mean, unless you see Belgium. I mean, Belgium seems like very low. Like to us, it's sort of the same. So we ship to Belgium, but not yet outside of the Netherlands and Belgium. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back now. So you were working at Albert Heijn.
Yeah.
Tell us what you were doing there. And you started just after university, right?
Yeah. So I studied business administration, and I studied international management in Rotterdam, which was a very international study. I went to China, I went to Denmark. It was very internationally focused, so everybody expected me to start working to go abroad and live somewhere else. But somehow I ended up at the most Dutch company there is, Albert Heijn, which is sort of, if you live in the Netherlands, you know Albert Heijn. It's very, very Dutch. Why I decided working there is because I'm very much into food. I think my entire life evolves around food. And I started there as a management trainee, which was a 2-year program in which I was working as a marketeer, I worked at the wine buying center, and I actually ran a store, so one of the larger supermarkets. I had to run it for about a year.
Oh, okay.
And that was part of the program.
Which one was that?
It was a large. It was an extra large supermarket. So we say in Utrecht. So quite challenging, you know, if you're that young and.
How old were you?
So I think back then I must have been 25, I guess. Yeah. So, but it was a nice experience. It's a good way, you know, to learn a company by actually running operations and being on the floor and talking to customers. So, and then after that, I was a category manager. So I was responsible for part of the assortment. As a category manager in the supermarket, you basically decide on what brands you have in your assortment, what price points, what promotions, and I was responsible for all the crisps, like chips. I don't know if that crisps, I think that was the right translation. And all the seasonal assortment for Christmas, Easter, and also healthy snacking. So I think that's where the link comes back for when I started Bites We Love. Back then already, when I was working at Albert Heijn, I was looking at more healthy options for snacking. And yeah.
So, all right. So you studied international business studies, and then straight after that you started as a management trainee. You say food has always been in your life.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I think, you know, I being from the Netherlands, I mean, I think the Dutch don't really have a very elaborate food culture. I mean, we do. You know, the main thing is that we eat potatoes and meat and vegetables, and it's not very culinary, I'd say. But I had to. My parents were very much into food, so they always, you know, they made the weirdest recipes, and so I think I just grew up always going to nice restaurants and spending a lot of time cooking good food and eating together, and so for us that was very important. So, and then I mean my boyfriend, he's also a chef, so I think we just share a very large passion for good food. So we're always going out for nice dinners and trying to find new products and
So for you, when you go to any country in the world, and you've traveled to quite a few countries now, food is what connects you with yourself. It's like sort of that's the connection that grounds you in a way. It's something that,
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. For me, food is about sharing good dinner, preparing good food yourself. And, you know, in my profession, I've always been very interested in about the stories behind good food, right? So especially what we do with Food We Love is we try to find all these small-scale suppliers, you know, that put their love and passion into producing this very special product. And what I like about it is that whatever entrepreneur you speak to in the food business, their main focus is to make the best product possible. You never hear them talk about money. I mean, they're not all successful, obviously. I mean, but, you know, a lot of them, it's always about good food. And I guess I just like the passion that comes from that. Yeah.
And so how was the transition for you from being in Albert Heijn? Okay, fine, you ran a big store, but you had the security of working for a company and probably a fairly decent paycheck at that age. Yeah. How was that transition for you from working in this safe environment and now suddenly taking that leap? Talk to us about when you took that leap.
Yeah. I mean, well, the funny thing is, I think back then it wasn't that... I didn't feel like taking such a big leap. I don't know. I think
it didn't feel like it.
No, because I mean, I was 28 years old. I mean, I was indeed making a decent amount of money. I mean, but it felt like, you know, if I don't, the worst thing that could happen was not doing it, right? So, I mean, I think if you look at life and, you know, the things you always regret are the things you didn't do. They're hardly ever.
You're giving me goosebumps because it's so true.
Yeah, definitely. No, so I think even back then I figured, you know what, if it doesn't work out, and I remember also speaking to my parents about it because I think they were more worried about me leaving my secure job than I was, and basically what they said was like, or what I said was, you know, whatever happens, right? Even if Food We Love doesn't appear to be a success, or you know, and being an entrepreneur is not really what I need to be. I mean, you know, the worst thing that can happen is that it will be an expensive year, right? So, you know, I'll spend a lot of time and money in starting up something that won't work. But then, you know, if that's the worst case, I guess I was lucky in having a good education and a good, how do you say, resume after working at Albert Heijn. So I always thought, whatever happens, I'll be fine,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So back then it didn't feel like such a big leap. But then again, now, I mean, now 3 years are like down the road. Running.
And it's been 3 years now.
It's been 3 years, yeah. So it's been 3 years, and I don't think I ever had one day of regrets, like of leaving the corporate life, so to speak. But I mean, now being pregnant, I'm pregnant 23 weeks now, and I mean, life changes, right? So now it's suddenly it's like, oh wait, do I have to worry about pension and making enough money to support the kid? How am I gonna do it being busy? But back then it wasn't that much of an issue.
But do you worry about that now?
I don't really worry about it. I guess, I think being an entrepreneur for 3 years, you just learn how to juggle things that come along, right? So I think now I know that whatever comes my way, I'll generally be able to handle it or solve it or, whatever. So I'm not very worried, but it's you do realize that it was a big step that I took back then that I didn't realize fully what the impact would be. But
I actually saw an interview recently, and the advice that this woman was giving was actually, the ignorance in a way is beautiful. If you do too much research and too much research, it can almost put you off. Sometimes that ignorance helps you take that leap. You don't know what's going to happen, but
no, definitely. So I think, I mean, I definitely don't regret the step I took. I mean, it brought me so much, and I mean, I have so much fun in the job that I have right now, and I have a really nice team, and I, every day I do something I really enjoy. And of course, it's hard work. And of course, when you think like, okay, wait, I'm going to have a family soon. Like, how is that going to change life? But I don't know. It's never, it seems more like a challenge than a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And facing a challenge never sort of stopped me from, making new decisions. Yeah.
So we were in your shop. This is your space. This is your space.
I mean, it's our office. So I mean, we do have some products here, but we have a separate location because we basically do everything online. We have a shipment location in which we prepare the boxes and we send everything out. So this is more like just sort of to decorate the office a bit, and we get a lot of samples in, and it's always good if people come in. We can show them what kind of products that we sell. So but it's nice. So this is the office of Food We Love and Bites We Love together. So
and how many ladies? It's ladies, right? I saw.
Yeah,
I didn't see how many do you have working for you? And
so I think we're a team now at the moment of 12 people for both companies. So 3 of them are interns. We have one guy. Somehow. I don't know, somehow I really focused on hiring men as well, I think, but somehow, I don't know, maybe it's the business that attracts women, or I don't know.
A lot of chefs are men. Your boyfriend.
Yeah, but I don't know how, but somehow my team, most of them are female, and I don't know. I didn't sort of consciously make that selection, but it ended up having a lot of women in the office, but which is good. Yeah. I mean, it's a nice atmosphere, and we might need some male vibe in the office every now and then, but we're always looking for it. So.
And now, so tell us about some of the hard times. I mean, you said it can be tough.
Yeah.
What are those challenges? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I guess the main challenges that I faced, I mean, I think that being an entrepreneur, you always see opportunities. So looking back for the last 3 years, I mean, I run 2 companies now. I mean, Bites We Love is successful in a way that it's growing very fast, and we're very much on trend, and we get very good response. But looking back, I think it was too early back then to already start a second company. I think Food We Love wasn't ready for me to sort of change focus. So what has been hard times is that...
And just to categorize that again, so Foods We Love is when you're shipping all different food products to people to experience different flavors from small companies, and you share their stories. And then the Bites We Love are all these little bites in the...
it's more the healthy snacks.
Healthy.
So I mean, and I can imagine that it looks like it's very closely linked, sort of, because we both ship them. It's both a subscription-based business. It's both about food, but our customer base is quite different. And in Bites We Love, we're sort of a producing company, right? So we produce our own snacks. And with Food We Love, we're more of like, maybe even more like a retailer, right? Because we work with brands.
So Bites You Love, you're a producing company.
So
because you
produce. Because we produce the snacks ourselves. So it's a different sort of role, a different way of running your business, right? Different margins, different production structure. And then, so while we even when I started, I knew it would be two different business. I mean, it's separate entities as well. And I think the main challenge has been to realize that it was too early to leave Food We Love, right? So I tried to find good people to run the business, and that's been a challenge. So
in what way?
Well, I mean, it's always, if you're an entrepreneur, right, you put some, what we say, sweat equity, right, in the business. I don't know. I like
blood, sweat, and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears, right? So if you start a business, you sort of, real entrepreneurs, I guess, you sort of accept that you put so much effort and time into the business, and you're not necessarily getting anything out of it, right? That's always the insecure part of starting a business. And I think as a person, you only have that much amount of sort of sweat equity available, right? So
I like that, sweat equity.
Yeah, so I mean, if I look at myself, 3 years now in a row, starting a first company, 1.5 years of a lot of investing your time and energy with a lot of insecurity, and then starting a second company and doing it again. I see that in Food We Love, there's, I guess there was still a lot of time and effort needed before it would be stable enough to run well without me. So, I mean, if you look at the business, Food We Love faces challenges in the way that it just needs an entrepreneur, and I only have...
And is that to get more business, more sales?
Yeah, to get more sales, every business needs focus and energy and time, and so, I mean, for example, for Food We Love, we're looking for a partner or somebody who can, run that business while I'll focus on Bites We Love. And these are challenging times, right? So letting go a bit of your business and trying to find a new partner, these are challenges. Yeah.
Are you still at the moment trying to find a...
Yeah. So I think about 3 months ago, I basically decided that it was time to find somebody who would focus more on running Food We Love. And that's, that's sort of a nice evolvement. I mean, it's part of being an entrepreneur, right? Starting up something, letting it go. And but obviously that's challenging, to juggle time, I guess. Juggle priorities, maybe even more than time.
Yeah. So when you do go through these challenges, what do you do for yourself? Because at the end of the day, you are the engine. Yeah. So how do you keep that engine running?
I guess I'm very lucky that I'm sort of high energy, right? So I guess if you do what you love, it's sort of, even if you have hard days, you have a good night of sleep and you wake up the next morning with all these new ideas about how to fix stuff or how to run stuff. So I guess I'm just very lucky that I'm high energy. And I'm very lucky that I have a very good support system around me, right? So I have a team that's very much involved. They work hard, like they work long hours, and they're very committed to what they do. And my parents are very involved as well. Yeah. I mean, they come from a completely different business. They're both doctors, so they're not very much into business, but they're always good. How do you say it? Like a vangnet. I don't know how to translate that in English, but they're always a support system.
They're always
right?
available.
They're always available to help me with advice or make tough decisions or give me feedback on myself or behavior or whatnot. So and obviously my boyfriend is very much into the business, so I guess that helps, right? Yeah. And to put things in perspective, like at the end, it's good to realize we sell nuts and seeds and we sell nice products, but there's so much more in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but what you do is that's really important. What you spending most of your day doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot in life. But what you spend most of your day doing takes up most of your life.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, especially being an entrepreneur, sort of work never stops, right? It's like you go home and it's always there. I mean, you're even at night, you're responsible for your business. I guess what I mean to say is that, if something goes wrong, or you have a problem with a shipment, or you have if you're an entrepreneur, I think the thing you learn, like from straight away from the start, is that never, like, nothing goes as planned, right? So what I mean is, there's more in life, is that if something goes wrong, you fix it, and then you look at the consequences, and you try to learn the lesson from it, and fix it to do better next time, right? So I guess that's a way to keep your energy up, to accept that you're not perfect, your business is not perfect, and the only thing you can do is follow sort of a perfect learning curve, right? If you accept that you need to learn all the time, you're less hard on yourself, I guess. Yeah.
So, is there anything? Let's start with saying, what is your goal for this business?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it depends. So for Food We Love, my goal would be that it's. Food We Love for me is almost more of a social enterprise. I mean, it's a lot of my friends sort of find that weird, because we've grown a lot in our second and third year, but. For me, Food We Love is very much about sharing stories, right? So it's very much about helping small entrepreneurs, about teaching people about value of good products, and about craftsmanship. And so for me, Food We Love is very social.
So talk to us a little bit about, well, maybe just give us one or two examples of exactly what you mean by what you've just said.
It's like, the thing is that coming from a supermarket, and especially at the time when I left, it was very much about promotions, discounts. You could get like a kilo of chicken for €1, right? So, and I think Dutch people are very price oriented, like they're very price sort of insensitive, and they want to have everything cheap, and it's always, they compare promotions and discounts. And I guess what my vision back then was, like, if we stop talking about pricing, and we stop talking about what the price is of something, and we start talking about the value.
And when you say value, you mean?
I mean, a product. You can, if you look at a product and the cost of a product, it might be €4 or it might be €5. But if you talk about value, it might be, the fact that there's a craft behind it, and it's shared by years-long family trades and recipes, and production methods and whatnot. And I mean, if you tell a story behind a product, people will focus less on price, because they realize that the value or the worth of a product is based on. Or it doesn't only come from pricing, right? It comes from the love that was there in the production. I mean, you have so many different types of jam, or types of spices or whatnot, but the value of it is never the same, right?
Yeah.
It's
and why is that so important to you? There's something, I get that. That's where I'm getting your sort of almost soul connection of what you do. Why is that so important?
I guess
that's what drives you. I can imagine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I don't know what I think. I think because I'm a bit fed up with I think now it's changing, though, right? If you look at now and 3 years ago, it's already quite different. But I don't know. I think it's such a shame that focus on pricing sort of destroys craftsmanship, right? So.
But it's not just about the pricing.
No, I mean, because it's about like, I guess it's about, I just love people that are very passionate about what they produce, right? So I mean, if you speak to people that make beautiful products, it's it's amazing. I mean, that's basically what you do, right? So I guess I just I don't know. I felt like after working at a large supermarket for some years, I could use my experience to help that cause, right? Help share those stories.
Yeah, because in the supermarkets, it's mostly jam that's made in a big factory.
Yeah.
So there was, you wanted to get away from that.
Yeah, I mean, and even though, I mean, I don't mind big brands, right? So I mean, I can also appreciate how a larger company produced on high volume, very efficiently, right, and at low cost, at low waste. I mean. So I'm not purely like I'm not. I do appreciate good business, I guess. In the end, like I appreciate nice businesses that add value, and that can be done in several ways. But I like the romantic story of small scale entrepreneurs as well. and they need a bit more help, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so you've been in quite a few big magazines as well. If I saw on your website, I usually don't like to do any research, but I did quickly have to just see the face of your website.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were interested to also share your story and.
Yeah, I mean, I guess especially with Food We Love, I was very sort of lucky. I didn't realize back then, but looking back, sort of, I think it was a story that people like to share, right? So, and I think at that time it just refocused on the high-end products and more nice stories, and I guess it was good timing. Yeah.
And so, So my question then was, what are your goals for the business?
Yeah. So I mean, my goals for the business is that I would love that Food We Love could, I guess I like that it's not that big. Maybe it sounds weird, but I mean, inherent to the concept is a bit that you work with small suppliers, so volumes cannot go up indefinitely. So for Food We Love, I guess my ambitions are moderate in the sense that I'd love to keep on having impact on small scale producers and having them share their story. And for Bites We Love, I mean, our goal is to have people to allow people for better, healthy snacking options, right? So, I mean, if you look in the Netherlands, most of the snacks that we have, we're not very used to eating nuts and seeds, and people generally tend to eat very high sugar products. And
that's what's in here, right? So tell us about what's in these different bags.
So Bites We Love, what we basically did is we developed 60 snacks, and we say that all of them have a certain benefit. Mm-hmm. It might be because they're high in fiber, it might be because they're high in protein or low in fats, and so they're all different, but they all have a certain benefit. What we try to do is sort of revolutionize the way that people in the Netherlands look at snacking, because it's very much a cheese sandwich or, I mean, we have some brands here, I don't know, they're not very international, but it's very cookie based, right? Like, so Dutch snacking, they tend to eat cookies as a snack, which is, if you look at UK or whatever, it's more nut and seed based. I mean, what we try to do there is have people, bring them healthier snacks. And I think if you look at that ambition, I think there's a lot of opportunities for the personalized boxes that we ship, but also very much business to business. So we see a very strong growth in companies that want to give their employees healthy snacking options, which are currently often not available. So
because if their employees are eating cookies all day, they're just going to be tired all day.
Yeah, so we get a lot of requests from companies that just want to offer their customers healthier snacks. So that's in that sense, I see an opportunity. There's a lot of room there for healthy snacking in the Netherlands and also abroad. So we're also looking at the UK and at Germany and see where that brings us. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I have one more question, which I always do quite like to end off on, because so many people watch these interviews and everyone wants to connect with something truthful within themselves. Yeah. What your passion and what connects you and grounds you is food, and also sort of the personal story, the personal touch behind food, because that's what you say. Your parents have always cooked, and so there's that truthful connection there. What would your advice be to other people who are trying to connect with that truth within themselves?
That's a hard question, because I mean it's not a conscious thing I do, right? So I guess what helped me was thinking that when I started the business, the question I asked myself was, what would be worse, like doing this and failing, or trying this and being successful in the end, or not doing it. So I mean, in the end, it always seemed to me that not doing something you truly love, that's the worst case scenario, always. So I guess if you're looking to do something and you're trying to find out if that's the right thing, that might be a way of looking at it, right? If you don't do it, in 5 years, will you regret not trying at least? So I guess I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that was for me the way of finding that out. Yeah.
It answers it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marleen.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. And good luck with your baby and
Thank you.
your business.
Thank you. Thank you very